The battleground mistakes are some of the preconceived notions that we make, that we fall into again and again and again. And those are, first of all, fighting on other people's terms. And I want to share a great story. Tatsuhara Bukurin was a 16th century samurai. And I want you to think how this individual manipulated circumstances to his advantage and how you might do so too. It was a beautiful, sunny Japanese day. And our samurai, our hero, Bukurin, was aboard a ferry boat. And he was going from point A to point B with some others. Among them was another samurai. And you could tell the samurai, they looked kind of like that. They were the only ones legally allowed to carry swords. They had the top knot. They were distinctive. And this other samurai approached Bukurin and said, "What style of swordsmanship do you study?" And Bukurin said, "Marakatsu Ryu. That's the style of fighting without a sword." And this samurai, who was clearly a bully, just kind of badgered. "That's the silliest thing I've ever heard." And just kept poking and prodding. "How do you fight without a sword?" And it became clear that this bully would not be satisfied until he saw a demonstration of Marakatsu Ryu. So he badgered and poked, and there would be a duel. And when there's a duel, there's a winner and there's a loser. It's not just an exhibition. So Bukurin said, okay, he conceded. He told the ferry boat captain, he pointed to an island a bit off course and said, "Let's go over there. I will exhibit my swordsmanship." And off they went to that island. And they got there, and the impetuous bully, as bullies do, grabbed his things, and he jumped out of the boat, and he went to flat ground where it would be suitable, flat, level surface to fight this duel. And as he did this, Bukurin grabbed the oar from the ferry boat captain, and he pushed it against the island, and they drifted back onto course, and back where they had been, and left the impetuous bully stranded behind. And as he floated away, he said, "There you have it, an exhibit of swordless swordsmanship." Now, he was our hero. He could have won. He could have beat anyone. But Sun Tzu says, don't fight a battle if you don't have to. It wastes resources, time, sanity, there's risk. If you don't have to fight, don't fight. You don't have to fight. How can you change the landscape to your advantage? I was talking with a woman at a networking event. I live in the DC area. We have a lot of government contractors, and this woman had just started a venture, her own consulting company in the technology space, working with the Department of Defense, or attempting to work with the Department of Defense, selling to the DoD. And she had built her career in tech consulting, so she knew what she was getting into. But here's the problem. She spent the evening telling anyone who would listen that the problem with the DoD is they don't want to work with women-owned businesses. They just don't support women-owned businesses. First of all, that's not true. But even if it were, why would you start a company predicated on the idea that the people you want to do business aren't going to buy from you? Now, she had created this landscape, doomed for failure based on her approach. So are you in a landscape? Are you on a battlefield where the odds are stacked against you? And if so, how do you change that landscape?